There's 7 truths that all of you can battle this spirit of comparison with and replace it with compassion. The first is just simply this. In Romans 8:28, there is a place, a destiny, a before place that we are all called to. And success is not compared to what everyone else is doing. Success is accomplishing what God has called you to do. That's success. There's a second truth. Ownership is our concept, and Jesus claimed none. This was especially hard for me as I published my first book and I had to put my name on the cover. Jesus didn't claim any ownership. You can read about it in John 5:19, 5:30, 5:41, 6:38, 7:16, 7:28, 8:28, 8:42, 8:50, 14:10, 14:24. Jesus is always saying it's the Father. He doesn't claim the ownership. He gives it to the Father. And I had to print my name, Eric Samuel Timm, on that book, which is free today, by the way. And you should tweet about it. I spent a lot of my life, and it's cheaper than beef jerky right now. It's humbling, especially if you go into Goodwill and you see your book there for $0.25. You're like, really? Really? I can buy socks that some dude wore for half his life, and it's more expensive than this book. And then the Lord's like, see, I told you, I'm just bringing you to the threshing floor. I'm like, okay, I get it. Never mind. But Jesus claims ownership. No ownership. Ownership's our idea. There's a third truth. Don't forget that all of us in this room and all of you that are watching from all over the world, we're on the same team in the kingdom. Like, we're on the same team. So who cares how many views Bethke's got about some video he posted? We should celebrate that because we're on the same team. Stop looking at your video content through the lens of someone else's video content. Just using an example, because Jeff will be here. Just using that example of how that can start to permeate our ministry. The fourth, the goal is to make Jesus have more followers, not your church, not your brand, and not yourself. That's your goal. And that's in John 12:32. Drive in Matthew 20:28 can drive you into the ground or drive you beneath the ground that people need to walk on to get to Jesus. When you know who you are in Christ, the sixth truth is this. When you know who you are in Christ, when you are anchored in Christ, you have something to say but nothing to prove. 2 Corinthians 10:12. And the seventh truth that I just leave you with, if you want to replace this spirit of comparison that starts to haunt us all at times, is simply, it all belongs to God anyway. The accolades, the ministry, your platform, your voice, the very breath in your lungs was breathed into you, and when you exhale, you are simply returning what was given in the first place. 7 truths that replace the spirit of comparison that maybe you've walked in here with, but you don't have to walk out with.